And we are continuing to follow some very sad breaking news out of Florida, where 2 people were shot and killed, and more than a dozen others were shot as well. We know that the shooting happened during an event for teenagers. It was just outside of a nightclub. We're going to continue to gather more information for you, and we'll be back with a live report coming up.
What's your
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Good morning, everyone. If you are just waking up with us, another mass shooting at a Florida nightclub. Right now, 2 people are dead and more than a dozen others injured. And we're talking about young people, teenage age. Information is slowly coming in out of Fort Myers, Florida, where this shooting took place overnight.
And here's what we know. This happened during an event that was hosting teenagers at this club. Our Nick Monticelli has been watching everything that has been going on down in Fort Myers since we know that this shooting happened. Nick, what have you been able to learn?
Evrod, the latest information is that 3 suspects, all 3 of them, are now detained in police custody for questioning. We can show you the latest information now. 2 men are actually dead because of this shooting, and 14 to 16 others are injured. Their injuries range from minor to life-threatening, and that number ranges because some of them were taken by ambulance, some got to the hospital on their own. You can see this happened at Club Blue, which was hosting, as you mentioned, Evrod, a teen party. And again, 3 now are detained. Police are no longer looking for any other suspects. Now, here's video of the first scene. There are 2 different locations where the shooting happened. The first one, you can see that giant pile of evidence markers there outside of the club. This happened right outside of Club Blue. Again, there was hosting a teenage party, and there was a crowd of people inside the parking lot when an argument began between some men and others there. I don't know what their ages were. We're still working on that. But when the shooting started, they ran. Some scattered away. Dozens and dozens of people fleeing from all of these gunshots. Some witnesses said it sounded as if there were hundreds of them, but through the evidence markers, you can see that there were many, 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 dozens of those shots. Now, there's the second scene, which is about 5 blocks away. Here you can see the police canine searching, looking for the suspects. 3 men jumped into a vehicle and took off from that first location, moving to the second one, again about 5 blocks away. Here, a house and a car were shot up. 1 person was shot. They have minor injuries, I should say. Now, the police originally had 1 suspect detained. They used those canines to search the area, and they found the other 2. So back out here live in the Satellite Center. It has been a very hectic morning trying to get all these details put together. But the information that we're getting right now points to the fact that this was an argument-driven shooting. This does not appear to be a targeted attack like the one at the nightclub in Orlando. Of course, things could change, but as of right now, the evidence and the information is pointing to that argument, which fueled some kind of rage. They drew their gun and started shooting into the crowd. But as of right now, and again, this could change, but as of right now, it does not appear that this shooting was a targeted attack. We are live in the Satellite Center. Nick Monticelli, Local 4 News today.
Nick, could you just clarify a couple things for us? Now, you said that it was an argument, so this was between adults, right? We know teenagers were in the club. All the shooting happened outside of the club as the teenagers were coming out, and do we know how many teens may have been hit?
No, we don't know any of the ages of the victims. That's something I've been trying to get, but the police department is very hesitant to give that information out as of right now. But we do know that the suspects detained are adults, so we don't know the ages of the victims or the ages of those that may have been involved in this altercation. But yes, Rhonda, all of it happened outside of the club. There was no shooting inside of it. Everything was in the parking lot. I don't know if the club was closed yet, if the teens were spilling out. It just happened at about 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning, so I would certainly hope that the club was closing down, especially when you have teenagers involved.
Right. Oh, so scary for anyone that was there, and of course tragic that anyone lost their lives. So Nick, we'll let you continue to try and work to gather more information for us for your next live update at 6:30.
Good morning. Hey, good Monday morning, everybody. A little gloomy look over downtown with some rain showers returning. Second wave since we've started our shift this morning, but garden variety stuff, nothing to worry about. Good for the grass and garden today. Metro at 76 degrees, still near 80 up in Troy. Howell 76, and Ann Arbor, good morning, 73. We're going to be 75 at 8 a.m. Still some morning showers through about 9 o'clock this morning. 88 degrees at noon. Clouds are going to linger and it's still steamy. Middle afternoon, cold front coming at us, so we're still at 92 degrees, but through the afternoon, more and more sun and less in the way of humidity. This morning, though, it is a steam bath, and you can see right over downtown Detroit a decent little shower here. Also, another one riding up into parts of the I-96 corridor between Westland and Redford there, and you see out in parts of Livingston and Oakland County also getting some wet weather. We have our lightning tracker on, and most of that has already passed through, but some remnant showers out to the west, so we'll keep a couple of scattered rain and thunder showers through 8 or 9 a.m. Here's Kim now. It's 4 Live traffic time. Good Monday morning.
Good morning. That's right. Be careful out there in those storms this morning. We're not used to driving in the rain so early. We've been pretty dry this season, but let's zoom in right now to Ann Arbor, where we do have an accident here that is causing a road closure east and westbound Huron Street. That's closed right now just west of Main Street because of that accident. So in the meantime, use Washington to avoid that. And let's take you to Pittsfield Township, where we have a closure because of a fallen tree. This has north and southbound Gulfside Road that is closed from Packard to Ellsworth. So in the meantime, you can use Carpenter Road to get around that. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim. 6:05 is your time, and there is an investigation underway to determine if yesterday's suicide bomb attack in Germany was terrorist-related. The attacker killed himself and injured 12 people outside of a music festival in Ansbach, Germany. Investigators reveal that the attacker is a 27-year-old Syrian who had been denied asylum, and he reportedly was to be deported to Bulgaria. The explosion comes just 2 days, though, after a gunman killed 9 people at a mall in Munich, Germany. Police believe a 16-year-old friend of the gunman may have helped him plan the rampage. Investigators say the shooter had planned the attack for at least 1 year. Investigators describe the young man as a loner who was bullied in school and had sought treatment for depression. Funeral services are going to be held today for Officer Montrell Jackson. He has a Detroit connection, and he was one of the officers shot and killed in Baton Rouge last weekend. Jackson was the nephew of a former Michigan coach, Fred Jackson, who described his nephew to Local 4 as fun-loving and a dedicated man. The ceremony will take place at the Living Faith Christian Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
It is 6:06, and the Democratic National Convention kicks off today in Philadelphia as party members are coming together to formally select a Democratic presidential nominee. Supporters of both Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are going to be there to pledge their support for the possible nominees. Meanwhile, controversy strikes the convention as website WikiLeaks released emails from DNC members indicating efforts were made to undermine the Sanders campaign. Now, in light of this, DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz announced her resignation. And of course, Jason, Bernie Sanders had something to say about this.
That's right, Efrod. Bernie Sanders tweeted out soon after the news broke, the party leadership must always remain impartial in the presidential nominating process, something which did not occur in the 2016 race. At Bernie Sanders saying that after this broke. By the way, scheduled to speak tonight, he is going to, and of course we want to know what you think. Our Facebook friend John says corruption never ends, and Nick says, LOL, this just makes me want to vote for Trump even more than I did before. Let us know what you want, what you think about all of this. Of course, the mainstream media is taking some heat for their slow response to this story as it broke on the Twitter sphere and the interweb. So let's go back to the desk.
Alrighty, thank you, Jason. There are rumors that former Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm is one of the top candidates to take the chair position, but we do want to let you know she told the Detroit News that she hasn't thrown her ring or her hat into the ring just yet. And then starting today, our very own Devin Skillian is going to be in Philadelphia with special live coverage, live reports of the convention. His special reports are going to start this afternoon, both on the air on Local 4 and on clickondetroit.com. So stick around for that.
And it is 6:08 on your Monday morning, and for Detroit businessman Dan Gilbert, this is one big deal that got away. Yeah, the web giant Yahoo has been sold, but not to him.
We'll tell you about that, but first, a plane crashes through a home. Ooh, and it's all caught on camera. We'll have more of this video coming up. But of course, we are continuing to follow some very tragic breaking news out of Fort Myers, Florida this morning. That's where a shooting outside of a nightclub has killed at least 2 people, injuring more than a dozen others. Shots were reportedly fired in the parking lot of Club Blue. 3 persons of interest are reportedly detained, and police say that the motive of that shooting is still under investigation. But we are continuing to follow the latest developments in this story. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning.
Today.
In stories to watch for this morning, a Detroit man who was found guilty in his son's shooting death will be back in court for sentencing today. Christopher Head's 9-year-old son died after shooting himself with a shotgun that he found in a home on the city's west side. Head was found guilty on counts including involuntary manslaughter and firearms possession, but not second-degree murder.
The 14-year-old brave survivor of the Kalamazoo mass shooting is back in the hospital this morning. We're learning that Abigail Koff was one of 8 people shot and 2 who survived that shooting in February, and that she is fighting another infection. This is actually for the 2nd time. Back in June, she was hospitalized as well for an infection on her skull. But we know she is quite a fighter, so we continue to wish her a complete and full recovery. We'll be back in a minute.
Politicians.
It is 6:13, and in Southern California, a wildfire has now forced 1,500 families out of their homes. The fire has consumed more than 51 square miles and is still burning, sending smoke and ash over Santa Clarita. More than 1,600 firefighters are battling this blaze that has killed 1 person and scorched about 22,000 acres. The fire is only about 10% contained, and it is still growing. Right now, it's unclear exactly how that fire started. And take a look at this. A plane crashed into a Connecticut home, seriously injuring the pilot. You can see this video of the incident there. It shows the plane falling from the sky in a city that's just northeast of New Haven. Investigators are saying that the plane appears to have had mechanical trouble just after taking off from a nearby airport. And we should let you know this isn't the first time that a plane has crashed in the area. It was back in 2013 that a plane crashed into 2 homes, killing 4 people. Thankfully, that was not the case this time. The homeowner was able to escape in this situation.
Well, chaos in the clubhouse after Chicago White Sox pitcher cuts up the team's uniforms right before a game. Chris Sale got suspended for 5 games after he destroyed the team's throwback uniforms about an hour before their game was set to start against the Detroit Tigers. Didn't affect the outcome as well because they beat us, but he was sent home after the incident. It's still unclear why Sales cut up the uniform, but White Sox personnel say that they are not happy about the situation. And the suspension is going to cost him a couple $100,000. So
it didn't fit, Ron.
He's probably regretting it too.
It didn't fit. I could cut it.
Sometimes the players complain about it. If you've seen some of the throwback uniforms, and I don't know about that one, but sometimes they're not very fashionable.
Yeah. There's some teams that I wish that they would cut up uniforms.
I know, but just don't do it. Just wear them and play.
I like those 80s Sox uniforms.
Yeah, what's not to like? I mean, those maybe the Padres from the 70s, but those 80s Sox.
The 80s are okay?
The 80s are, I love the Sox with the modern lettering.
Greg Luzinski and
the bull.
Yeah.
Nice recall.
Well, big lesson learned for any of the other players that are considering destroying those uniforms.
There could be a little something
It'll cost you.
in whether or not he wants to be a Chicago White Sox at this point. Ooh. You know, they're sort of trending the opposite way of the other town team.
Well, they beat us twice in walk-off home runs.
Yeah, I guess it didn't really matter that he didn't play.
Not at all. Or maybe it fired everybody up.
So the take from this is that we have no idea what we're talking about. That's what I just got out of it. Here's a look, and I did most of the talking. That says a lot. Here's your Hanson's weather window. Slick runways out at Metro Airport. You see a little taxiing, a little coming and going out there. The cloudy skies, some rain showers around. Your Hanson's weather window temp is 76 degrees. Humidity's up there at 82%. Southwest winds at 8. Today's a big day. It's the Bernie Smilovitz Gleaners Hunger-Free Golf Outing, and I think Rhonda and I both are playing in this later today, and was hoping for lower humidities for this thing, but it is going to be a steam bath around most of Metro Detroit through the morning and early afternoon, but showers around through 8, 9 o'clock, and then noontime 88 degrees, still muggy and hazy, cloudy, 92 the afternoon high. We get lower humidity 3, 4 o'clock, also more and more in the way of sunshine later in the day. Meantime, we have to deal with the rain showers. Isolated thunder as well. Just had some decent rain come right through downtown Detroit right now over the Grosse Pointes, St. Clair Shores, also the northern part of Wayne County up into southern Oakland County, Novi over into Southfield, getting wet right now. Farmington Hills as you head up into Sterling Heights, getting some rain there. Also just to the west of Ann Arbor, and you see these showers are moving basically west to east, maybe a little bit southwest to northeast, but that's it again through the morning hours. Things become a lot more manageable later tonight, but a steamy day today. Tomorrow and Wednesday, both upper 80s, but humidity levels are down, so you'll feel that. Just classic summer days Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday through the weekend, a series of little disturbances coming at us, so that'll bring some rain chances later in the week, and we'll get you more details on that. But I would plan for some scattered showers and storms Thursday through Sunday, sort of on and off. Kim?
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Well, good morning, everyone. We've got some trouble on the roads today as we do have some weather that's causing some problems. So let's take a look here. This is an accident in Ann Arbor. This has east and westbound Huron Street closed just west of Main Street. So in the meantime, use Washington to avoid that. And then we have a fallen tree in Pittsfield Township that is causing a road closure as well. This is north and southbound. Gulfside Road is closed from Packard to Ellsworth. So in the meantime, you can use Carpenter Road to avoid that. Now let's talk about some construction. I-75 northbound Giddings to Clintonville Road. Only one lane open starting at 8 p.m. tonight. This construction will wrap up 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. This will continue all week until Friday. And then on I-375, both directions, north and southbound from I-75 to Jefferson, one lane blocked there from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Now I just got word of an accident on southbound I-75. I'll give you more information on that coming up in my next report. Rhonda?
All right, Kim, thank you. 6:18 is your time, and it's time to talk consumer headlines. Web giant Yahoo has a new owner. We know Dan Gilbert made a sizable bid. We'll have that, plus gas prices are on their way down. Let's get to Maribel Averill live at NASDAQ in New York. Good morning.
Good morning, Rhonda. You know, gas in Michigan is down 11 cents over the past week. The new statewide average is now $2.24 a gallon. It's 41 cents lower than this time last year. Metro Detroit's current daily average is $2.28 per gallon, about 8 cents less than last week. All of this is according to AAA Michigan. And real quick, Verizon is buying Yahoo for $4.8 billion. Verizon will acquire the struggling web company's core internet business and some real estate holdings. The deal marks the end of an era for Yahoo, which at one time was an internet giant with a market capitalization of $125 billion. Verizon will add Yahoo to its growing digital media business. Media reports say the deal could be announced later this morning. And of course, a bid for Yahoo from Quicken Loans founder and Detroit businessman Dan Gilbert came up a little bit short. But, you know, it'll be interesting, Rhonda, to see how two former Google heads, Tim Armstrong and Marissa Mayer, sort of duke it out, see what happens.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
It is 6:20 now, and it hasn't even started yet, and there's already controversy. We're going to tell you what you can expect today at the Democratic National Convention.
And a serious storm continues to bring massive amounts of rains in Hawaii, but some relief is in sight.
And before we go to break, let's meet today's Facebook friend for today. This is Nicole Osinski from Mount Clemens, and she says that I live every day as it is my last. That's a good way to live life.
And we do want to give you a Big B gift card to enjoy your day, just for being our friend of the day, Nicole. So congratulations to you, and a reminder to everybody else, don't forget to like the Local 4 Facebook page. And once you're there, you can click on the Friend of the Day tab, include your picture, tell us a little something about yourself as well, and you might just be our next Friend of the Day. We'll be right back.
Well, things have been a lot more active in the Pacific Ocean. Tropical Storm Darby continues to rain down on Hawaii. The storm made landfall on Saturday, bringing heavy rain, gusty winds, and rough surf, of course, to Hawaii, which is used to it, but this is big time. Darby expected to gradually weaken to a tropical depression today, and experts say the main impact from Darby will likely be just the significant rainfall. There is still Tropical Storm Frank and Hurricane Georgette out in the Pacific, neither expected to take direct hit or aim at Hawaii, but we'll keep an eye on those storms. Meantime, back here at home, A little tropical, at least feeling out there, steamy. We've got some scattered rain in the area. A couple of waves have already come through, so roadways will be a little bit drippy, and still could see a couple of scattered showers through about 9 o'clock this morning. 76 degrees right now, on our way to about 88 at noon. Don't break the mugginess until mid-afternoon. A high of 92 today. Kim?
All right, going to be a hot one again. Well, this is an accident we've just picked up southbound I-75 past Springwells. That has your right lane blocked, so use caution while traveling southbound I-75 this morning.
All right, Kim, thank you. To 6:25 now, and coming up next at 6:30, local stories from Grove Seal, Southfield, and River Rouge.
And we're continuing to keep you updated on breaking news we're following out of Fort Myers, Florida this morning, where a shooting outside of a nightclub. It was a teenage theme night as well. It took place during the overnight hours. At least 2 lives have been lost and dozens others injured. Police are investigating 2 other related scenes. They do have 3 people of interest in custody right now. No word yet on any motive, but we are continuing to follow it, and we'll have a live report for you at 6:30.
Welcome back, everybody. Time now is 6:26, and later today, Philadelphia is going to be filled with Democrats for the party's national convention.
As we're taking a live look outside of the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, where the convention will take place, and we're expecting at least some fireworks. We certainly saw a bit of controversy kicking off before the convention even starts this morning. Tracy Potts joins us live from Philly. And Tracy, we know that Bernie Sanders endorsed Hillary Clinton, but all eyes are certainly on him and her supporters who are not feeling him right now.
Exactly. So he speaks tonight, and he could really go a long way toward pulling this party together, Rhonda and Evrod, because thousands of Bernie Sanders supporters have already been out in the streets cheering and protesting and demonstrating on his behalf. Some of them saying that if he's not nominated in this convention, they are leaving the Democratic Party. This is a way bigger crowd than we saw on Sunday before the convention than we saw the entire week in Cleveland with the Republicans. So what will or what can Bernie Sanders say to pull those supporters, to pull those progressives in tonight? That's what we're watching for. We'll also hear tonight from Senator Elizabeth Warren, another progressive that many of those supporters wanted to see on the ticket. We'll hear from First Lady Michelle Obama, focusing on Hillary Clinton and her accomplishments in her years of public service. And the other big thing that's it's sort of blown up here is the fact that the chair of the Democratic Party is stepping down. She'll gavel in later this afternoon. She'll close them out on Thursday, but her replacement's already been named. She seems to be the one and first casualty of the email scandal, where it looked like staffers inside the DNC were pushing for Hillary Clinton and trying to downplay the Sanders campaign, and in some cases torpedo the Sanders campaign. And that's something they're not supposed to do. They're supposed to stay impartial.
All righty, we'll definitely be watching.
All right, thank you, Tracy. And we're back in a minute.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
And if you're just joining us this morning, we are following breaking news from down in Florida. If you're just waking up with us, there has been another mass shooting outside of a nightclub down there.
Yes, this was a nightclub there in Florida. It happened at an event, actually. The theme was teenagers. So there were teens that were pouring out of that nightclub when this shooting happened in the parking lot. A very frightening situation there in Fort Myers, Florida.
And our Nick Monticelli is working on this story from the Local 4 Satellite Center. Nick, I understand that several people are now in custody, but police are still investigating.
Evrod, good morning. Yes, 3 suspects have been detained after quite the lengthy search there in Fort Myers, Florida. Let's get you the latest information. 2 men were shot and killed outside of this club in Fort Myers, Florida. We can show the information there on your screen. Another up to 14 or 16 were shot outside of the club. It was outside the parking lot there of Club Blue. Now, that number of people shot varies because some were taken by ambulance, some got to the hospital on their own. As you mentioned, this club was hosting a teenage party, so there were a lot of teenagers around that night. And again, 3 people have been detained, and the Fort Myers Police Department says they are not looking for any other suspects. Now, we can show you some video of 2 different scenes. The first one here is at the club. This is where the shooting happened, and this all started allegedly because of an argument. It is outside there in the parking lot. There was a group of men there fighting, and that's when somebody pulled a gun and started shooting. Some shots hit those who they were intended for, some randomly hitting others. Witnesses were telling reporters there that people were just running as fast as they could away from all the shots being fired. And you saw all those evidence markers in the streets there, and there are some more right there. You can count them. There's 14, 15, 16, 26 in the back, 27. There were dozens and dozens of shots fired. Now, there's a second piece of video to show you. This is the second scene. Now, after that first shooting, 3 men got into a car and sped down the road about 5 to 6 blocks away. This is the second scene where a house and a car were shot up. One of the suspects was detained there instantly. 2 others were tracked by those canines you saw. Now all 3 suspects are detained. Now, we were talking all morning about the ages of those involved. As we come back out here live in the Satellite Center, we have now learned that there are specifically 16 people treated at one hospital. There were 2 hospitals involved. Of those at the first hospital, the age ranges are from 12 to 27 years old. 4 remain in that hospital, and 1 of them is still in critical condition. There is another aspect to point out of all of this. This appears to be an argument, something that started there at the club. It does not appear as of right now that there was any targeted attack. Nobody went there with the intentions of shooting up that club. Again, it happened outside of the club in the parking lot and started because of a fight, and the age ranges right now of those involved, the victims, are 12 to 27 years old, and 2 men are dead. We're live here in the Satellite Center. Nick Monticelli, Local 4 News today.
Who would open fire like that so recklessly that kids can be hit by gunfire?
Senseless. All right, Nick, thanks for the update.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Monday morning. It's a little bit wet out there. Great morning, though, for the grass and garden, as warm as it is and has been. It's good to get a couple of these soakers early on, so you don't need the sprinklers today for most of us. Steamy look here from Mount Clemens. We have 76 degrees outside right now with a southwest wind at 8. Humidity is up there at 82%. We hang on to some morning rain shower chances, mainly between 8 and 10 a.m. Showers should be exiting throughout that time frame. Still muggy as we hit the noon hour, 88 degrees, some hazy sunshine. High today of 92, but finally starting to break the humidity through the middle afternoon, late afternoon, and certainly this evening. But it could take a while, which is why it's another steam bath. And this isn't helping. We've got some rain showers from Ann Arbor all the way up through Canton, Plymouth, as you head over into Southfield. Decent rain shower here right along I-696 in Oakland County. And most of this action is moving west to east, as it has been all morning. And we've had a couple of waves of this already, so odds are the streets are soaking in certain spots. Let's send it over to Kim, get a check of your 4 Live traffic. Any problems out there, Kim?
Yes, we do. You said it. It's a great morning for the grass, that rain we're seeing, but not the best morning for your morning commute. We are seeing some problems. Let's take a look at this one here. Eastbound I-696, just near Telegraph, there's an accident that's blocking the right shoulder. And now let's take it down to I-75. The southbound lanes just past Dearborn Street. We have another accident that is blocking the right lane, so you could see a few delays in that area as well. Evrod?
Kim, thank you. It is 6:35, and today the man accused of killing Chelsea Bruck is expected to go before a judge to be charged with murder. You might remember Bruck disappeared from a Halloween party back in 2014. Her remains were found 6 months later. It was on Friday. Police say that a 27-year-old Newport man was arrested in connection to her death. The suspect was living in a mobile park with his girlfriend, a girlfriend who says the suspect confessed.
He called me today and he told me he did it, and I told him not to lie to me, and I wanted the truth. You know what I mean? If you love me, then tell me the truth, like what's going on. And he told me he did it and it was an accident.
Kelly's now ex-boyfriend made that call from jail, and it was most likely recorded, so that's evidence the Monroe County Sheriff will review. The arraignment, again, it's set for today, so of course you want to stay with us here on Local 4 and on ClickOnDetroit.com for updates.
Time now is 6:36, and members of the MSU football team are mourning the death of a former punter. His name is Mike Sadler, and he was killed in a car crash in Wisconsin over the weekend. Sadler was a 4-year starter at MSU from 2011 2011 to 2014. He was the first four-time academic all-star in school history. He and University of Nebraska punter Sam Foltz were both killed in the single-car accident on Saturday night, along with LSU kicker Colby Delahousse, who was in the vehicle but injured but survived. Police believe that Sadler lost control of the vehicle on wet conditions and hit a tree. And we did see a message from his former coach, MSU head coach Mark D'Antonio. Today, he posted on social media that he gave us all so much in so little time. Our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. Sadler was just 24 years old, and he was set to start Stanford Law School in the fall. So our hearts certainly go out to his family as well. It is 6:37, and we do want to get you updated on some stories that are happening all across the metro area. We're going to take you to Southfield and Grosse Ile, but first we begin in River Rouge.
Yeah, that's where this morning all lanes of I-75 near the Rouge River Bridge are back open after this semi went tumbling off the bridge. The driver telling police that he was cut off by another driver, and he then swerved to avoid hitting the car and crashed into that concrete wall before falling 100 feet to the ground. And what's amazing is that the truck driver only suffered minor injuries and is expected to be okay. Over in Southfield now, a restaurant owner is forced to make some serious repairs after a car slammed into the building. This happened on Lasser Road, just south of the lodge, and the owner tells us that the driver had trouble with her brakes, and that's what caused her to crash into the building. Thankfully, no one was inside of the restaurant at the time, or the driver was, no one inside the restaurant or the driver were hurt in that crash.
A Grosse Ile police officer who was run over by a truck is out of the hospital. In fact, the family of Officer Todd Brozak shared this photo of him, and it had the caption, "Battered and bruised, but still smiling." We're glad to see that smile. On Wednesday, Brozak was on patrol when he was hit by a large truck near Meridian and Grow. The truck driver was arrested, suspected of driving under the influence. Brozak and his family say they are incredibly grateful for all of the support.
Time now is 6:38, and we want to get a check of what Jason's working on in the carport this morning. We're talking superheroes.
That's right, the movies just keep on coming, and over the weekend we got a sneak peek at a whole bunch of them. We're talking Comic-Con in the port.
And of course, we are continuing to follow breaking news out of Fort Myers, Florida. That's where a shooting outside of a nightclub has left 2 people dead, injuring more than a dozen others. Shots were reportedly fired in the parking lot of Club Blue during a teen night event, with guests as young as 13 years old. The police do have a person of interest in custody, but they're reportedly still looking for other people who might be involved. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated with new developments on this breaking story throughout the morning.
Sky 4.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Time now is 6:42, and it's one of the biggest events in pop culture.
Yes, and it had people buzzing all weekend long. The San Diego Comic-Con saw plenty of fun surprises and celebrities at that. Good morning.
Yeah, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and better for film fans and comic book fans alike. It never disappoints, and this year's Comic-Con is now in the books. But all weekend long, we got our first looks at some major blockbusters. Watch out for that lasso. Comic book fans getting their first look at the new Wonder Woman movie. Gal Gadot reprises her role as the Amazon princess from Batman v Superman. The movie hits theaters summer 2017.
I heard about you. Didn't think you were real.
And that's not the only time you can see Wonder Woman on the big screen. She'll be teaming up with Ben Affleck's Batman and some other iconic superheroes for Justice League, which hits theaters later that year. And from DC to Marvel, we get our first full look at the latest installment into the Marvel Avengers saga, Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch is a surgeon who gets a new lease on life, which includes a set of mystical powers. That movie hits theaters in November.
Captain Marvel herself, Brie Larson!
She's taking the starring role in the first female-led film in the Marvel franchise. Oscar winner Brie Larson was confirmed as Captain Marvel, but fans will have to wait for this one. The movie is not scheduled to hit theaters until 2019. Mark your calendar. So there you go. You have about 72 superhero movies coming out in the next 5 months.
Well, all right.
Yeah, fans at Comic-Con did get a few other sneak peeks, including Spider-Man and the new Thor, but the studios are keeping those in the vault for now.
I see.
Okay.
Well, something we're not keeping in the vault these hot mugs.
Yeah, that everybody wants. It's our Mug on the Move Monday.
And remember, every Monday we are feeling generous here at Local 4, so we want to give you a chance to win our beautiful Local 4 mugs. And here's a hint for you.
Yeah, the music there is a big hint. Jason is a fan. Our floor director Tanya is a fan as well.
We're all alums of Michigan State.
Let's see where our mug has landed today. Do you recognize this statue?
One of the most beautiful statues I've ever seen in my life.
My dad would say so as well. He also sings this song very proudly too. If you know the location, go to the Local 4 Facebook page and tell us. You could be our Mug on the Move winner. And we do pick a number of you, so you do have a chance to win, a very good chance to win. We also want to give a special congratulations to last week's winner, and this is Juanita Johnson. She's going to enjoy drinking out of her new Local 4 News Today mug. We also ask that you send a picture once you do pick up your mug as well. So big congrats to her and everyone else who gets this answer right. And it's very easy if you, well, no, I'm not going to give a hint because
everybody knows it. We try to make it easy, but did anybody notice the sizing of the mug in her picture?
That's big.
I'm like, how did she do that?
She got the extra large.
I wish the mug was that big.
Yeah.
It's an awesome mug, but you do have to drink a few cups to really, get your fill in the morning.
I'm just happy they stopped playing that sound.
You went to Arizona.
I know.
I'm a Michigan fan still.
I know.
Wow.
Still.
Bye, Jason.
You need to be neutral.
That's how
He's mad.
Even though Jason and I are not neutral.
Comic-Con, we're talking about, superheroes, and Jason Carr's kryptonite is maize and blue.
Yeah,
Right.
apparently.
Wow.
Well, is the rain out of here? Because we have some golfing to do later.
We do, yes, Rhonda. We're going to be golfing rain-free. However, the next couple of hours, we can't rule out a little bit of rain. So if your early morning golf round, anywhere between now and about 9:30, we have some spotty rain chances out there. 76 at Metro, 75 in Howell. Good morning, Ann Arbor at 74. We've got 79 in Troy. We'll sort of right in the middle temperature-wise, hedge our bets at 75 degrees, 8 a.m. Still, again, some morning showers through maybe 9:30, 88 degrees at noon. Still steamy and some clouds lingering, but rain-free. And this is when Rhonda and I will be out there at the Bernie Smilovitz Gleaners. What is it called again? I think it's called Stop Hunger Golf Outing 2016. It's an awesome event, obviously with Gleaners and Bernie Smilovitz at the Detroit Golf Club. It is going to be a steamy afternoon, but again, dry as far as rain conditions. We'll see 92 degrees, and once we get to 3-4 o'clock, start to feel less and less humidity, which is a good thing. So tonight, overnight into tomorrow, will be some reprieve coming your way from the heat anyway. Here's a look at some of the rain right now over Southfield, a decent little swath coming out of Redford into Southfield, and this will be heading over towards Sterling Heights and Warren, into Fraser, maybe Roseville. Cold front is going to be the spark for, again, the shower chances the next couple of hours. It doesn't pass through until late afternoon, but ahead of it, that steamy weather continues. And tomorrow, Wednesday, we will be flirting with 90 degrees, but a lot more sun and a lot lower humidity. So it's manageable, classic summer-like days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and maybe even Sunday, we'll have some on and off scattered rain and thunder showers. All right, Kim, for live traffic, you've been tracking accidents. Don't know if they're wet weather related or not.
It sure does seem like it because we have showers this morning, so it could cause a little bit of problems for you as you head out the door this morning. But the good news is that accident we had on southbound I-75, that just cleared. However, we just picked up this new one here. This is westbound I-96 just past Livernois. That has your right lane blocked, so just watch out for delays there. And now we still are following this accident eastbound I-696 right near Telegraph. That has your right lane blocked, so could be some delays there as well. And now let's take you to Ann Arbor, where we've been following this one all morning. East and westbound Huron Street closed just west of Main Street because of this accident. So in the meantime, to get around this, you can use Washington instead. Back to you.
We have a very disturbing story to pass along to you of a deadly discovery on Detroit's west side. A body found wrapped in plastic and rolled up in carpet. The scene is near Finkel and Livernois on Detroit's west side. Sources say that the victim is unidentifiable. We'll continue to follow the investigation.
It is 6:48 now, and an Olympic team is refusing to allow its athletes to move into the Olympic Village. Australian officials say that their building in the village has some serious problems that include blocked toilets, water running down some of the apartment walls, and a strong smell of gas. Until the issues are resolved, the Australians have booked rooms in local hotels. Today marks 11 days out until Rio, and our coverage of the opening ceremony starts at 7:30 p.m., of course, here on Local 4. But it's the Australians who don't want to live there in that Olympic Village, and hopefully that situation gets taken care of.
So maybe the renderings of that particular dorm are not quite what it's
Up
really
to
like.
par.
Yeah, that's too bad, too.
It is 6:49 now, and still to come, we've got our question of the day, Jason's bowl of bacon.
Yes, we do. Also the top 4 stories after the break as well. So stick around. Don't go away.
On the next Live in the D, a special place to discover with your pet.
Yeah, Plushie's worked with Prince. Now you can win tickets to see her live.
Today at 10 a.m. on Local 4.
If you're shopping...
In today's top 4 stories, we have been updating you all morning long about the breaking news that's coming out of Florida, Fort Myers, Florida to be exact, where a shooting outside of a nightclub has killed 2 people, left 2 people dead and injured up to about 17 others. Shots were reportedly fired in the parking lot of Club Blue, and we know that 3 persons of interest, are reportedly detained. Police saying that the motive for the shooting still being investigated.
This morning, the man accused of killing Chelsea Bruck is expected to go before a judge to be charged with murder. Bruck disappeared from a party back in 2014. Police arrested her accused killer on Friday, not far from where Bruck's body was discovered.
And we want to give you a live look at the Democratic National Convention, where it is going to be held in Philadelphia. The convention, we know that it got off to a little bit of a rocky start when party chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz announced last night that she would step down when the convention ended. And starting today, our Devin Skillian is going to be in Philadelphia with special live coverage of the convention. His reports are going to start this afternoon, both on the air and on clickondetroit.com.
Good news at the pump this week. If you need to fill up, Michigan gas prices are down 11 cents from last week. The new statewide average is now $2.24 a gallon. That's 41 cents lower than this time last year. Metro Detroit's current daily average is $2.28 per gallon, about 8 cents less than last week. All of this according to AAA Michigan. Brandon?
All right, Rhonda. Good Monday morning, everybody. Another steamer here in Detroit. It's 76 degrees. We've had some waves of rain and thunder showers moving through, and we're not quite done yet. 76 degrees, a southwest wind just pumping in that mild air. You see some of the showers, southern Oakland into Macomb County here from southwest to northeast, and there's still a few more back there. We're going to be heading out later today to the 2016 Bernie Smilovitz. This is the Hunger-Free Summer Golf Classic, and it's going to be better and better as the day goes on. We'll see more and more sunshine, but still 92 and a little sticky today. Kim?
All right, well, we're used to it now, right? Okay, here's a look at that accident we were following earlier. Eastbound I-696 right near M10. You can see that only one lane is getting by. Definitely going to see some delays in that area. And then we have this other accident. This is westbound I-96 just past Livernois. That has your right lane blocked, so watch out for delays there as well.
Bowl of bacon, our question today, who is your all-time favorite superhero, which has our viewers philosophical, not exactly the answer.
I know. I was expecting to see my favorite Wonder Woman. I was looking for someone to say that, but everyone is saying their parents, grandparents.
How about Cherie? How much did you pay her? She says, you are, Jason.
Oh.
Very nice.
Frank says Guy Fieri. Who hosts Diners, Divers.
He is awesome.
He's a superhero? When did I missed that
He
memo.
can eat everything.
The basil Parmesan crusted special he did really put him into that category, I thought.
Well, let's name off some people here. Let's see. Christina Labarge, 100% my dad. Was never afraid of anything, knew he would always protect me, miss him every day.
Lisa says Superman and my mom and dad, they are both 86 years young.
Wow.
Tracy says Mighty Mouse. Remember Mighty Mouse?
Yeah.
Here I come to save the day.
I still do that when I push my kids on the swing. You know?
You do?
Well, it's that theme. It's that underdog thing. Underdog.
Okay, there you go.
John Little's.
Yeah, go ahead.
John Little says Felix the cat.
Felix the cat, the wonderful, wonderful cat.
I don't know.
I don't. If you're a certain
really
age, you don't remember.
Was that
It was in black
80s?
and white. No.
Oh, it was
no.
before that.
I remember
Okay.
Felix the cat.
That's why
I
it's
didn't know
not
he was a
registering.
superhero, though.
I didn't know.
How about He-Man?
Get off my lawn!
Somebody remembers that. You have more, Brandon?
I had He-Man in there from, and this was big during the 80s. Of course, I can't remember. JB Towing says He-Man. Do you remember the song for that one?
Masters of the Universe? No, I don't.
You've been doing so well, though. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Nobody said like Batman or
I had a
X-Men
Superman
or
on
Spider-Man.
here. Hey, everybody, have a great day. Enjoy
Every
the sunshine
man.
once it comes out later.
Somebody said
Florida
Jason.
Man.
Jason.